Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. In this one, we are focusing a lot on the hips as we work towards our middle splits. And in particular, we're focusing on our adductors, the insides of the legs, as well as the hamstrings, the back of the legs. And the pace of this class is going to be a little bit more flowy to begin with, but then we're going to have some time towards the end where we really slow down and become a bit more passive. And that's just going to encourage a little bit more of a sense of ease because this pose can feel quite intense. So we are going to get started on our bellies today. When you're ready, just roll yourself down. If you did have a pair of socks, if you didn't have carpet like me, this can be quite useful when we do practice our middle splits. But if you're on carpet, then awesome. If you don't have anything like that, that's also okay. It's just going to help just a little bit. Okay, let's start by sliding the right leg up to the side, and you can either stack the head underneath, on top of the hands, or if you felt like a little bit more, we can twist the right hand through to the left. And what this is going to start doing is bring our leg in a more externally rotated position. So opening up through the adductors and the groin, as well as twisting the spine ever so slightly. And just close down the eyes. And for the first couple of moments, can you become really heavy here? So letting go of any activation and just releasing the body weight down to the ground. As you breathe in, can you fill up through the back of the ribs, the back of the heart, the back of the chest? And as you exhale, just letting that all go. Softening the face, softening the jaw, the eyebrows, the eyelids. Let's take about 2 more breaths on this side before we change over. When you're ready, slide your right foot next to the left. I'm going to swap it out. So slide the left knee as high up as feels comfortable. And again, you can stay more through center, or you can try thread the left hand through to the right. Taking these couple of moments before we begin to move with a little bit more activeness, just as a way to kind of just check in. Letting the moments before this practice kind of settle so that you can really be here in this practice, in your body, in your breath. Letting go of anything that's happened in your day already or anything that's happening afterwards. And perhaps even inviting a sense of curiosity and play into this practice. Seeing what your body can do without any expectation, without any judgment. Let's go 2 more breaths here. And then just start to come back through center. We're going to bring the feet together. Push yourself up and come into a child's pose. But rather than having the knees quite narrow, we're going to try to take the knees as far out as possible. So toes are towards each other. You might be on your elbows here. You can always come down Resting the forehead on the hands. Really feel the insides of the legs open up here. Breathing into any intensity that you might be experiencing. And you might stay down with the elbows or keep your legs where they are. See if you can lift up onto your hands. Imagine like you're trying to sit back on your heels. So lifting yourself quite far up. For me, this can bring a lot of intensity, and so it's just learning how to soften. Take a really long breath in through the nose. And an even longer exhale through the nose. Really nice. Okay. Bring the hands out in front of you. Slide the knees underneath your hips, coming into tabletop position. Use your next breath in to drop the belly down, come into cow pose. As we exhale, push away from the ground, cat pose, tucking chin into the chest. Inhale to open. Exhale to round, push away from the floor. Let's do one more. Breathe into open. Exhale to push and round. This time hold here. Really think about tucking the tailbone down. So you're trying to arch through the spine as much as possible. And when we do come into our middle splits position, this is the kind of sensation you want to be feeling, in particular through the lower back. And that's just going to help maintain control of the pelvis and the spine, so we're not just dumping down. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, just take a little step forward with both hands, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Now you might pedal out the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. Starting to create a little bit more movement and heat down the back of the legs. Lengthening the arms, drawing the shoulders up the spine, away from the ears. And then find a moment of stillness where you're drawing the heels in the direction of the ground. You're lifting your hips as high as you can and then back towards the back of the room, back of the mat. Use your next breath in, walk your feet forward, land your feet about hip width distance. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Walk hands to shins, breathe in, lift halfway. Exhale, fold again. Lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Long spine here. Roll the shoulders back and down. Little tuck of the tailbone here, and you're engaging through the glutes. So it's still quite active even though we're just standing. Lift the arms again, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Lifting halfway, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, Chaturanga, tuck the elbows in, come down onto your belly. Inhale, your cobra of choice. It could be low, could be high. Shoulders squeeze back. Exhale, push onto your knees, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in through the nose here. And a breath out through the nose. Breathe in, walk forward. Exhale to fold. You can always bring big toes together, heels slightly apart. This is just going to challenge the hamstrings a little bit more. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Lift the arms all the way up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in, lift halfway, squeeze shoulder blades down. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga option coming halfway this time. Breathe in baby cobra on the ground or upward facing dog, thighs off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take one breath at the back. Let's try one more round of our Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Breathe in, walk forward or bend your knees. Look, take a little hop. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, ripple it back down. Lift the arms, breathe in. Look up to your thumbs. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Breathe in and lift. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold again. Hands down, step back into plank. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend of choice. Push the hands into the ground, open up. Exhale, send it back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath at the back. We're going to make our way to Tadasana. So breathe in your way forward. Exhale to fold. Lifting halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold again. Lift all the way up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Okay, let's shift our weight into our left foot. Lift your right knee up, breathe in. As you exhale, take your right knee around to the side. Then you're going to turn the right foot behind you, left knee, right knee forward, and then bring the right knee down by the side so the foot is behind you. We're going to switch that up, go the opposite direction. So lead with the shin first, right knee comes out, but the right foot's in line. Then scoop your right foot underneath the knee, bring it forward, and then lower it down. Okay, let's try that again. Breathe in to lift the right knee. Exhale to take it around. Inhale to turn right foot back, right knee forward, keep the hips square. Exhale, lower it down. I like to have my hands on my hips to make sure my right hip isn't lifting up too much. One more time on the other side. Breathe in, right knee lifts up first. Exhale, scoop the right foot underneath. Inhale, draw the right knee forward. Exhale, lower the right knee. Okay, lift the right knee up again. Take the right hand around the front of the shin. Take it wide. See if you can lift the right knee up a little bit higher. Another breath in here. As we exhale, we push our hips back, hinge the upper body forward. So really long spine here. Shoulder blades squeeze back. And then find warrior three, hands to hips. Right leg back, chest is long, spine is long, squeeze shoulder blades back. Okay, one more final balance. Let's start to open the hips up into our Ardha Chandrasana. So pivoting your right hip back, left hip open underneath, and you can always bring your hands down to the ground or fall out as many points as you need. Okay. Long step back with the right foot. Turn both toes out, breathe in. As you exhale, variation of Skandasana, but the left toes are going to stay down on the ground. So you might be up a little bit higher here. You might be down a little bit lower. Really think about pushing the right knee out over the middle of the foot. Try to stay low here as we switch to the other side. So breathe in, stay low. Left knee is going to bend here. Right leg is going to be straight. As much as you can, keep that right foot down on the ground. Okay, that's going to internally rotate the legs a little bit more compared to our normal Skandasana. Inhale, shift to the right. Exhale, hold. Inhale, shift to the left, stay low. Exhale, hold. Inhale, shift to the right. Exhale, hold, really squeeze the left quadricep here. Inhale, shift to the left. Exhale, hold. Let's go about 4 more. Inhale to the right. Exhale, hold. Inhale, shift to the left. Exhale, hold. Let's go 2 more. Inhale, shift to the right. Exhale, hold. Last one, inhale, shift to the left. Exhale, hold, really nice. Hands come to the middle of the mat. Turn the toes forward or even inwards a little bit. Prasarita Padottanasana. Breathe in, lift halfway. As you exhale, ripple forward. See if you can bring the hands around the outsides of maybe the shins or even to the outsides of the calf or the ankle. Squeeze your hands into the legs, lengthen the spine. Draw the head in the direction of the ground. Lift the tailbone up to the sky. Might feel nice to kind of shift your hips from side to side here a little bit. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale as you lift halfway. So you're high onto your fingertips here. Exhale, hold. You can always stay down here for support. If you want it a little bit more, hands could come to your hips. So you're really active here, engaging glutes in the back of the legs, shoulders squeezing back. If you felt like a little bit more, hands could reach forward, just as long as you keep that spine long. If you notice yourself really rounding here in each direction, just bring it back a little bit so you can maintain the integrity of the spine. One more breath. Lift all the way up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, turn the left toes forward. Right toes still stay to the side. Arms wide. Breathe in, left hand forward, hips back. Exhale, left hand down the left shin. Right hand high in Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So you want to scoop the left hip underneath. It's really going to help open through the left adductor a little bit more. Right hip back. Keep the ribs in so we're not flaring too much. Squeezing shoulder blades down the spine. One more breath here. Hands frame out your front foot. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into your plank position. As we exhale, Chaturanga, come down onto your belly. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Hands might stay down on the ground as your feet lift. Engage the glutes, legs are really long. If you felt like a little bit more, see if you can reach your hands forward. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit playful here. We're gonna start to, depending on your space, you're either gonna roll to the right or roll to the left. I only have space for my right. So you're gonna roll yourself up, coming into a dish hold. So your feet are up, your hands are up, you're on your back here. Lower back pressing down to the ground. Really feeling the core switch on. Oh, I don't know if you can hear in my voice, but I'm shaking heaps. And then lower yourself down to the ground. Draw your knees up into your chest, and you can stay here, or you can find happy baby. Taking the hands around the outsides of the ankles, or maybe the feet. And you're really trying to squeeze your knees down outside the ribs. Lower back presses down as well, so you're long through the spine. Shoulders are pulling down as well. Let's take one more breath here. And then come back into your dish hold. So feet along, about 45 degrees, chest is off the ground, hands along. You can always bend your knees here as well. Slowly, we're gonna turn back into Shalabhasana, locust pose. So turning back onto your stomach, lifting your feet, lifting your arms. Take another deep breath in, lift a little bit higher, and then as you exhale, hands come down, maybe knees tuck, or you can have the knees off the ground, push up to high plank, breathe in, and then as we exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice job. Okay, let's try that again. Inhale, either walk forward or take a little hop. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold again. Lift all the way up, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Shift your weight into your right foot. Breathe in as your left knee picks up. As you exhale, take it around, but keep your hips really square to the front. We're going to internally rotate through the leg. So the left toes are going to turn back, right knee, left knee turns forward, and then bring left knee next to the right. Inhale, lift the shin, keep your hips as square as possible. Exhale, turn the left foot underneath, left knee on top. Inhale, left knee comes forward. Exhale, left knee next to right. One more time with each. Breathe in, lift your left knee high. Exhale, take it around. Inhale, left foot turns back, left knee turns forward. Exhale to lower. Breathe in, lift the shin. Exhale, turn the left foot underneath. Inhale, left knee forward. Exhale, left foot by its side. Now, if you want to shake out your right ankle here, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, take your left hand around the front of the left shin. Take the knee wide. Deep breath in, lift up really tall. As we exhale, we hinge back. So push your hips to the back of the room. Keep the spine really long and right leg is really long here. One more breath. Release the left toes to the back, warrior three. Your variation of it. Hands come to the hips. We're going to turn into our Ardha Chandrasana. So opening the left hip up, scooping the right hip underneath. I find this is one of the hardest transitions in the asana practice. Okay, when we're ready, long step back with the left foot. Turn the toes out, breathe in. As we exhale, Skandasana to the back. Left knee bends here, right toes stay down. Okay, we're going to shift forward. Breathe in, shift to the right. Exhale to hold. Keep the chest lifted as much as you can. Inhale, shift back. Exhale, hold. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, hold. Inhale, shift to the back. Exhale, hold. Let's go 4 more. Inhale, forward. Stay low. Exhale, hold. Sometimes I like to have my hands out here. Shift to the back. Hold. 1 more of each. Really good. Let's walk halfway. Turn the toes in. Maybe they're facing forward a little bit. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, fold again. Plasarita Padottanasana. So remember, you can create some movement here. Maybe shifting your hips from side to side, forward and back. And then lifting halfway, hands come under your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hold. Now you might say hands on the ground. You could reach hands to hips. If you had space to reach out in front of you with the arms, go for it. But keep the shoulders squeezing back. Engage the glutes and the back of the hamstrings. You're screwing your feet down into the ground. Hugging the belly button up and in. 1 more breath. Lift all the way up to the sky. Breathe in, arms reach up. Exhale, turn your right toes forward, hands come shoulder width distance, shoulder height. Breathe in, right hand forward, push the hips to the back. Exhale, Trikonasana, right hand down, left hand high. If you had space to do so, if you could keep your spine really long, feel free to bring the hand a little bit lower, but we want to prevent too much side bending through the spine. Hands frame out the front foot. Breathe in. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forwards into your plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Come all the way down to your belly. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Breathe in, lift up. Legs along. Maybe arms reach forward. You know where we're going from this. I'm going to turn to my right again, but if you had space to turn to the other side, maybe do so. Coming into your dish hold. So feet are up, hands are up. You can always have your hands by your sides. Lower back pressing down. 1 more breath. And then lowering yourself down. Let's find our happy baby again. So hands around outsides of the feet. Maybe your feet reach out to the sides. So you're kind of finding this middle splits position, but you're on your back. This can be really nice to do to prepare because you're kind of using gravity as assistance here to weigh the legs down. I like to hold on to my toes here, my big toe. You can always play with 1 foot out, 1 foot in, other foot out, other foot in. Okay, let's come back into our dish hold. So feet up, maybe arms up, take a deep breath in here. As we exhale, roll into Shalabhasana onto the belly. Lift the arms, lift the feet, squeeze shoulder blades back, take a deep breath in. Exhale, come down to the ground, hands by the ribs, knees or toes here. Breathe in, push up to high plank. Exhale, shift it back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, we've got one more sequence each side, a little bit shorter this time. And after this, we're gonna hold in some more passive poses. So use your next breath in, make your way up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold again. Rise up to standing, lift your right knee up, breathe in. Let's find Vrikshasana, tree pose. Right hand comes around the right ankle as you lift it up onto your leg. Now your foot could be on your thigh, might be lower, might be higher. We're not gonna stay here for too long, but really try and engage the glutes to wrap the right knee around, lifting up really tall. Let's go one more breath here. And then either right hand behind the right thigh, or you might try peace fingers around the right big toe. Lift yourself up, right knee to the side, or if you felt like a little bit more, see if you can extend your right toe out. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, variation number 2. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, let's find that hinge motion that we did before. So hips push back, spine is really long, squeeze shoulder blades back. One more breath. Release to warrior 3, hands to hips. Squeeze shoulder blades back. Right hip in line with left. And then open into your half moon again. Keep your drishti on something underneath you, a focal point, something that isn't moving. And then take a long step back, land in your warrior 2. That wasn't a very graceful transition, but we've always got the other side. Now we know what's coming. So hips square to the side, left knee facing forward, right toes facing the side. Breathe in as you lengthen your legs, Skandasana to the back of the mat. Right knee bend, left toes on the ground. Stay low as we transition to the front, breathe in. Exhale to hold, this time warrior 2 to the back. Right toes turn to the back of the mat, left toes turn to the side. Reach the arms out, drop into your hips. Now stay here. If you felt like a little bit more, find a hinge position. So you're pushing your hips back, your arms are gonna reach out on a 45-degree angle. So you're kind of on an angle diagonal here. Hands could also be down on the ground. One more breath. We're gonna completely turn to the back. Left hand plants down, left knee comes down. Breathe in as you reach your right hand to the front. So you're twisting to the right knee. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you pick up the left foot. So you're finding a bit of a quadricep stretch. And then release the left foot. Turn back to the left side of your mat. Coming into a half straddle position. So left knee is underneath your hip, right foot is out long, right toes turn to the side. Now you can shift yourself forward and back here. If you wanted to venture a little bit further, you could try walk your right foot a little bit further away and then do the same thing, shifting forward and back. Or maybe you just hold, elbows can come down to the ground. But because we're moving a little bit slower, can you slow down your breath as well? Let's go one more breath. Walk your hands back through center. If your right foot has come back a little bit, bring it back in. Left hand is going to plant to the front of the mat, mini wild thing. Right hand reaches forward and it might look more like a side plank. But if you felt like a little bit more, see if you can squeeze the glutes, hips press forward. Maybe the chest rolls open to the sky a bit more. Hands come down to the ground, tuck right toes. Breathe in, step back into downward facing dog. Exhale to land. Okay, let's try that sequence one more time. Breathe in, look forward your way to the top of the mat. Exhale to fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold again. Lift all the way up, breathe in, lift the left knee up. Exhale, left hand comes around the left ankle, place it on the left leg. Engage the glutes here, Vrikshasana, tree pose. Shoulders are down, lifting up really tall. And then maybe left hand around the left thigh, maybe peace fingers around the left big toe. See if you can extend your left foot out to the side. Right hand can come up onto the hip. Breathe in, lift up, shoulders down. As you exhale, find the lean of the upper body forward, pushing the hips back. Start to release the left leg, come into warrior three. Hands come to your hips. And then we start to open into our half moon. Breathe in, rotate the left hip back, right hip underneath, drawing the left shoulder back as well. And then as gracefully as possible, we land in warrior two. Left foot steps back, right toes forward, bend the right knee, drop into the hips. Soften the shoulders a little bit. Stay low in the legs, skandasana to the back. Breathe in, turn the left toes out. Exhale, sink your hips towards your left heel, but keep the right toes down. Stay low as we transition to the front. Breathe in, shift. Exhale, hold. Warrior two to the back. Breathe in, left toes stay to the back. Right toes turn to the side. Exhale, hold. Bend your left knee, drop into your hips. Slide the shoulders down. Maybe you stay here, or maybe we find that hinge again. Pushing your hips back, and then reach your hands on a diagonal, so you're kind of on a 45-degree. It's almost like I'm trying to hug my tree here. Get active through the back foot here as well. Engage the quadricep. And then hands come down to the ground. Turn to the back of the mat. Right knee comes down. Breathe in as we twist to the left. Maybe the right foot picks up. Exhale, hold. Draw the left shoulder back. And then release the right foot. Turn to your right side of the mat. Again, finding your half straddle here. So left toes are turning to the side. Right knee underneath the hips. And you might just shift forward and back, maybe hanging out in a position. Or you might start by sliding the left foot down a little bit more. Maybe elbows come down. And just like I said at the beginning, we just want to make sure that we're not dropping our weight through our belly. So sometimes it can be really easy to enter a back bend here. We, as best as possible, want to keep the core active. That's going to help stabilize the pelvis and mean that we're more active through the adductors. So if you're noticing your back bend, try find that little tuck of the tailbone. Okay, start to walk your hands back towards you. Slide your left foot back up. Right hand plants to the front. Breathe in, open left hand front. Maybe the hips unwind slightly, maybe the left shoulder. Plant the hands down, breathe in. Tuck toes as you exhale. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And then bringing these down to the ground. And this might be a good opportunity to grab some socks if you have any around you. So I'm going to provide two variations or a couple. So you can, if you didn't want to try full splits here today, that's cool. You can start with maybe that half straddle that you did before and then take the feet out. Another variation is finding frog pose. Frog pose looks a little bit, I wonder how I can show you. So it's like that wide-legged child's pose that we did before. but you're going to take your feet out so that the ankles land in line with the knees. And you want to flex your feet here so the ankles are active. So this is a great position to head to before trying out your middle splits. So maybe you go into that. If you wanted to jump straight into finding middle, see if you can come into your wide-legged forward fold. Hands down, get really active through the arms to help slowly inch the feet out a little bit more. And then eventually elbows might come down to the ground. See if you can keep the feet planting towards the ground, core active, and again, this might bring a lot of intensity. So keep breathing. Making the exhale maybe a little bit longer than the inhale. To come out of it, it's a little bit awkward. Sometimes I just bring one knee down and then slide out. Gosh, I find that so challenging. But some ways that you can help is if you stack a couple of blankets or pillows underneath you. We did this in Hanumanasana, our forward splits, a couple of weeks ago. And so if you put stuff underneath you, it means that you can be a little bit more passive. You don't need to use your upper body to help contract more. So I'd totally recommend that if you had any of those available to you. Okay, feel free to just chill out, stop the video, let it pause and play in your own time. If you're ready to cool down a little bit, come into a kneeling position. And you might stay here, or we can find Ustrasana, camel pose. Hands could come behind the hips or the back here. Take a deep breath in, lift up. As you exhale, push your hips forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, keep lifting the chest up. If you wanted to explore one hand down, two hands down to the heels, go for it. We haven't done that much back bending today, so this is just a way to release through the front of the hips, to neutralize the hips, because we've done a lot of external movement with our legs. And then starting to come out. Come down onto your back. Once we get down there, a couple of different options. You could just stay with your feet wide and your knees knocking towards each other. It's actually a really nice way to let the femur bones just internally move, rotate a little bit here. If you wanted to try an inversion, maybe halasana, plow pose, you can bring your hands by your sides, lift your feet up, and then you're going to push through the hands. Take your feet up and back as much as feels comfortable for you here. Again, no expectation of what this feels like or looks like in the body. It's just a nice way to release through the back, using gravity to assist us here. And then just slowly starting to roll down the spine. Hug the right knee up into the chest, left leg out long. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, cross the right knee over to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cross it over to the right. Find your way back through center, and then we'll find our way into Shavasana. So for me personally, I'll have my knees in and my feet wide, but you might have your legs long here. Close down the eyes. And just take this moment to acknowledge yourself for turning up to this practice, for still being here, and maybe trying something a little bit new, maybe even challenging in the body. And the more we can turn up to our practice, the more we're going to see what benefits it has, not only physically, but also when we turn up into our life off the mat. We'll just be here for another couple of minutes of silence. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. And just starting to bring our attention back on our mat. Wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, taking a deeper breath. And we'll make our way up into a seat to close down our practice. Once you arrive here, take a deep breath in through the nose, lift up really tall. Deep breath out, let it go. Thank you so much, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed the practice today. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I love hearing from you, and make sure to like and maybe share it with a friend if you know someone in your life who might enjoy this practice as well. Remember, we always have Patreon, so if you wanted some longer classes, we've got heaps in there that you can explore. But I can't wait to see you again next time.